With Jonathan Jones after OTAs. Jonathan, I wanted to talk to you. I'm sure you've been asked about culture a ton since you've been here. Obviously, the culture, super important in New England where you came from, something they've emphasized a lot here. What's similar about the two places? And then what's different? Because, you hear good culture. There's more than one way you can build that. So what's similar? What's different?
Yeah, like you said, both culture is a big influence in both programs. And I think to have a good team, a good program, starts with great leadership. And we have that here. Coach Quinn just being a great leader, being able to command guys, having the respect of the locker room. It starts there. And then the guys buying in. Everywhere talks of brotherhood and family, but it's intentional here. You can see that the guys mean it, whether it's in the meetings, outside of the meetings. And so when you build that type of camaraderie, it just helps the program.
I'm sure you wouldn't have signed here if you didn't think it was real, but were there some early signs when you got here? You're like, okay, good, didn't make a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, as an outsider last year, it was something special to watch, just to see how the guys were flying around for each other and the plays that they were making. And I, doing a lot of winning in my career, I know that it has to be something special in the locker room for it to transfer out on the field. And so once I got here, I could see, what was so special about this locker room. Just the guys in here, it's a bunch of great guys. Just come in every day, work hard, compete, and that shows up on the field.
Especially in something like a defensive back room where communication is so important. How does the off-the-field stuff, relationships, whatever else you want to throw into that bucket, how does it actually translate to winning on the field?
Oh, so much. In the back end, it's all about trust, trusting each other, trusting, like you said, the communication is going to be made. And so you build that in the meeting rooms when you're away from here, and then that carries over on the field. And so it starts with trust.
Jonathan Jones with us here on the Hoffman Show on the Team at 980. Speaking of that back end, you got a good young guy like Sanders still. Does he remind you of you a little bit? A guy who play inside, outside, kind of maybe wise beyond his years. That's something you've always been, had on you. Is a maturity, leader kind of characteristics. Does he remind you of a young you? Yeah.
I mean, he comes in, doesn't say much, but you can tell he's listening, he's paying attention, and just comes out and works. And when you're young in your career, that's all you try to do is just show up, work hard, and earn the respect of the coaches and the other players.
What also, makes this coaching staff so good on the back end? Dan's got a great history with DBs. Obviously, Joe has a great history with DBs. Then you have your actual DB coaches. So what is it about this scheme, this staff, the way they teach, the way they coach that seems to hit so well with players on the back end?
Yeah, I think it's simplifying it, not just from a scheme standpoint, but simplifying it in communication. So Coach always harps on, getting the word across in least words as possible. And I think effective communication is a good way to teach guys, whether it's new guys like myself coming in or younger guys, just to get everybody on the same page. And you can see that they're intentional, about making sure that communication is right and everybody's on the same page.
What's it like for you being a new guy?
Feels a little new. Feels a little refreshing, I can say. But it's a good start, from where I'm at in my career. It's a good change of scenery, enjoying meeting everybody in the building, and just kind of starting over.
Have you had a chance to explore D.C., the greater DMV area at all yet?
No, me and the wife got down. We went to the White House, took the kids down there, but we'll get out and explore a little bit more and get out here and see what's about.
Wrap it up here. Jaden, watching him year two, you've obviously been around some great quarterbacks. You've been around the greatest quarterback, arguably, of all time, maybe inarguably of all time. What are some things that stand out about Jaden, watching the way he works and nevertheless having to, go against him in practice every day?
Yeah, he has composure. I think everyone saw that from his rookie year, and it's going to do nothing but build into year two. And from a defensive standpoint, we get better when we work against, good people at practice. And like you alluded to, coming against playing, some great players on offense at practice every day, it makes the defense better, and we're getting that here. Good work against, our offense, the guys we have at skill positions, quarterback. It makes our job tough, so it's going to make us a better team.
And then last thing is kind of the big concept for you guys in the back end is the interchangeable pieces. You have guys like Will who can basically do everything. You played some safety, some corner, some outside corner, some nickel. What's it like this time of year to cross-train, and then how does that ultimately help you when you get to the fall, on top of the coaches being able to say, all right, this is our best group. They're doing evaluating. But for you as a player, how does that ultimately help you?
Yeah, I think it comes down to learning the concept. When you can play multiple positions, you really understand the concept of the defense, and it does nothing but helps you and also add value to you. And then add value to the team. When guys can play multiple positions, you get into the season, you deal with injuries, whatever may happen. Being able to move guys around and not miss a beat is very important.
And then when you sign, like, were you told, hey, this is the kind of thing that we're considering? Then Trey gets drafted, so now you got a different guy in the room. Like, what are those conversations like throughout the free agent process and then throughout the spring here of how all that interchangeability actually plays out here on the field?
Yeah, it was, the conversation was just, I told him I'm signing to be a football player. I just love to play football. Wherever you need me, put me on the field, and it's my job to execute. So, like you said, we brought in some guys who can help, and so hopefully we can tighten up the back end and go for it.
Jonathan Jones, appreciate the time. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
This is the Hoffman Show on the Team 980 and the Odyssey app.